If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. My goal is to reach 100 subscribers, and I would greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I will leave the links to all my social medias in the description. And with that being said, let's get right to the video. So I am recording this video actually a little bit later in the afternoon, and the trade went down in the morning, which I was sleeping. But I'm pretty sure you guys are going to see this video right after, or the day after to be more specific. But just to summarize it up, the Thunder traded Al Horford, who they weren't playing anyway, and Moses Brown to the Boston Celtics, where the Celtics gave up the 16th pick and Kemba Walker. And I'm just going to talk about what does this mean for both teams, what could this potentially mean for other teams, and what this could do for the future of both teams. But just to get started, Brad Stevens is already making moves as the general manager, and just in case you don't know, he is the general manager now of this team. And Kemba Walker and the Boston Celtics, of course, had some issues going on, which he felt betrayed, to put it like that, where the Celtics tried to trade him and he didn't know that. And usually if you're on a team and a player tries to trade you, you're not going to be too happy. So the Celtics had to get rid of him. But the problem was, on his big contract and the way he was playing, it was hard to find a matchup for who would want to take him. But it was a situation basically like, I heard somebody else say this, and this was the best way to put it, but basically the only way you would be able to trade Kemba Walker is if you unload something and you get a bad contract back. And yes, Al Horford contract is better technically, with it being a little bit less money, $14 million guaranteed, I believe, and then it's a shorter deal, and he can actually help you better. Most likely he's still a good player, don't forget that. The Thunder didn't want to play him because they're obviously tanking, and if you're not helping them tank, of course they don't want to play you. And I do feel like that should be against the rules, but the league doesn't see a problem with that, so whatever. They've been doing this for years pretty much. But yeah, first off, with the Kemba Walker situation, this is how I look at it. I believe the Thunder does have exactly 36 picks each, 18 and 18, but I'm sure they're gonna try to get value out of Kemba Walker eventually, and I don't see him staying on this team because pretty much they've been doing this with past stars, or quote unquote stars. For example, with the Paul George trade to the Clippers, they got a whole bunch of picks and everything they basically needed. For example, with the Chris Paul trade, they let him play out in OKC. They proved he's still valuable after a few questionable seasons from him, and people concerned he can stay, or if he can stay healthy, if he can be productive as he used to be. He showed in OKC he can still be that good player, and he's showing that in Phoenix today. But there's, of course, plenty of examples with this, and now they got an extra pick with the Al Horford trade, basically a swap for Kemba Walker. And they did give up a second round pick, but that's not really too big of a deal. But this is just a really interesting situation, because I believe with Kemba, like I said before, he will not be with this team for much longer. I do believe he might play a few games, but then I'm pretty sure he's going to end up being traded eventually. When, I'm not sure. It could be before the season even begins. It could be at the trade deadline. It could be in next offseason. It's basically like a situation like Kemba has to prove something, and that's basically what these players have been doing at OKC, where you've been getting moved and traded. Basically, Sam Presti believes that he still has potential, and if he shows that, he can eventually be traded. And would I rather have Al Horford on the team or Kemba Walker in OKC's place? I'd say pretty much Kemba is the better deal, because he's not too old yet. He can still be productive for any team. Yes, he has had health problems. Yes, he has been inconsistent at times. But I believe Kemba can be good. I believe he can be like his Charlotte days. Yes, with the first season with the Celtics, it does seem like ever since that first season where he was an all-star starter, it just went downhill from there, and there was a lot of questions about his game. Yes, he is considered a very good locker room presence. Yes, he can be a good playmaker, scorer for you when he's healthy, but he just hasn't been showing those signs really as much as he should mostly every game. And Al Horford for the Celtics team should be a better fit. I wouldn't say that the Celtics have to get a new PG, because I do believe Marcus Smart could actually play that position for them. In trading, Kemba Walker can actually help expend his contract, actually, because I do believe Marcus Smart was a more important player to this team, or for the past few years at least. But I just feel like Al Horford is a better fit for this team. And yes, they did kind of have an ugly ending from when he first left the Celtics, but he is back, and it does kind of suck because you had to let him leave because of a contract you didn't want to pay him, and now you have him on the contract anyways. But like I said, I do believe this is an amazing fit for the Celtics, but this is a win-win trade for both sides, to be honest. And potentially the Thunder has a better chance of getting the best deal out of this in a few years, depending on how Kemba Walker turns out, depending on what eventually goes on in the future, and how much value they can get for Kemba Walker. But yeah, that's pretty much all it for me. I just wanted to get on here and talk about this trade because there's a lot of implications that could have went on in this, and we can see the results in a few years. We can see how Al Horford plays with the Celtics. He has been at home for a while, so he might be rusty, and I don't know. I'm just excited to see his fit with his team. I'm excited to see what eventually happens with Kemba in OKC. But yeah, with that being said, that will be the end of today's video, and I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and just leave a comment. Who do you think who won the trade? Was it the Boston Celtics or the Oklahoma City Thunder? But yeah, with that being said, I love every single one of you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.